tell you about this part of this book, that we are on page, it's barely into this book. This is a great book. And I put the link up in one of the recent Back to the Books for Scott Onscott, Taking Measure. And I realized that it is kind of an expensive book, but it is packed full. Anyway, this has a lot to do with a lot of the work that I found a long time ago, and I hadn't noticed it in this book, and I hadn't noticed how Scott Onscott kind of beats around this bush about Isis and Osiris in Washington. And one of the amazing things that, when I discovered that, I knew that, of course I didn't discover it. I was just a commoner who noticed it. The people who built it, they know it's there, and probably all kinds of insiders know it's there. And from reading this, I think that Scott Onscott knows it's there. So if you haven't seen my videos about Isis and Osiris, or Isis and Horus Sr. in Washington, D.C., please put that in the search box and look at it. I think I have a lot of other time lapses in my intro and my outro, but I don't have this. And I need to rework my whole intro and outro. I don't mind how fast it goes. It's just that I was using Movie Maker for a long time, and then I think it was degrading. Even though I kept drawing the video from the same source, which shouldn't degrade it, it seemed like it was degrading. Well, I'm using Corel, I think. What am I using? Corel Paint Shop Pro, but it's for video. And anyway, seems to be doing a better job. Lots more buttons, though. And it's working pretty good. So I will eventually rework my intro. But anyway, this is not in my intro, the Isis and the Osiris drawing in Washington, D.C. And I would say that was my first and most probably important thing that I noticed. And I have not noticed that written anywhere. And I actually think people who have their, like, oh, I found a triangle, or oh, I found a pentagram in Washington, D.C., I think those guys are not actually meaning to show you something. I think they're actually meaning to have you relax and be like, oh, okay, see, he looked and he just found a pentagram, big whoop, turn on the sports. Nothing against sports, because basically when you see that, some part of you realizes that I don't know, you're not it doesn't make you want to dig deeper. It makes you think, oh, well, okay, they looked at it, there must be nothing there. Well, there is something there. There's a lot there. So I have a lot of videos on that. But anyway, I just was reading this and I saw how Scott Onscott is beating around the bush here, and I just want to see what you think. Let's start here. There are, of course, 9 possible repetitive single digits in the decimal system, 1 through 9. No matter how many zeros are repeated, the value and meaning of any string of zeros is 0. Repetitive single digits 1 through 9 emphasize number quality, that is the character of the individual number of the ennead. Take, for example, the Washington Monument height of 555 feet and 5.5 inches. The repetition of 5s should draw our attention to the essential quality of 5. I also want to call attention to the 5 5s being the river. And I've brought that code to you through the menorah or the pi gematria, and through the book Pi and the Alphabet by Marty Leeds. So that would be another aspect of this. So you might even say, if Scott Onscott's right about that this is an Osiris number, that would tie Osiris to the river, which they did. He is tied to the river because I think they did, after he was encased in the beautiful chest, which would be the body, I think they slid him into the river Nile. Okay, well, anyway, let's see. The monument's height resonates with 5-ness, and this is phi also, P-H-I, which is 365 in the menorah gematria, which I correlate with Isis in the Ennead. So he correlates 5 5s. Okay, so he's correlating 5 5s with Isis. That's right, I forgot that. And then I wrote in here, and she's sitting on the monument, because he doesn't say that. She's flipping sitting on the monument, on the Washington Monument, you guys. Okay. It just so happens that 555 feet and 5.5 inches equals 6,666 inches if you round up to the nearest inch. Therefore, the monument also resonates with 6, which I correlate with Osiris. The moment is really an expression of the relationship between Osiris and Isis, or 6 to 5. And I've talked about the relationship of 6 to 5 being 6 over 5, which would be, hold on, I'm dropping things here, which would be, in this code, it would be Osiris over Isis. But in Washington, D.C., it's actually 5 over 6 because Isis is over Osiris in Washington, D.C. Well, anyway, 6 over 5 times phi squared approximates pi. The chapter entitled The Honeycomb and the Apple delves into the fundamental relationship of 6 to 5. And I just put here the relationship 6 to 5 in more ways than one. So do you guys think that he knows? Can you tell if he knows that there is a drawing of Isis sitting on Osiris, sitting on the Washington Monument? Can you tell from his writing here? I wrote here the relationship between Osiris in more ways than one. So what do you think? Does he know or does he not know? That's my question. Anyway, I wanted to show this to you because I'm gonna try to link my videos on this topic for your information, because maybe Scott Onscott doesn't bring this up because it's dangerous to bring this up, what they did in Washington, D.C. and what they have written out there. It's probably a no-fly zone, and maybe people can't see it from the sky. Maybe only the insiders that are in helicopters can see this, and that's why they publish all these, okay, I found a triangle in Washington, D.C. Ooh, I found this, and I found a square in Washington, D.C. Ooh, it's demonic. And then everyone, runs, and they just leave the research to the person who published that, rather than look for themselves and see that there's a full-on Nazca-type drawing of ancient Egyptian religion of the 4th age, right there, Washington, D.C. So, let's see, I have some blog posts on this I did fix all my links, and I hope they still work, a big tiny URL to everything. So if you scroll down in the descriptions, there is a blog link, and I think there are also links to videos through the blog link. One of them's like, Isis and the mystery penis, because for a long time I didn't know whose penis that was, because it looks like there's a lot of signs there that that's Horus. And I don't understand, the whole reincarnation picture with Horus being the husband, Osiris being the husband and Horus being the son, but it looks like there's basically a scorpion there, and it looks like a sparrowhawk. So that is, a lot of Horus clues. All right, well, that's what I wanted to tell you. All right, talk to you guys later.